This is Balaji for Goddess Talk and Afro-Organics. If you're just tuning in, I have Miss Gale Philson here. We're about to start at 7:03, so if you get a chance, just stick around for a minute. We're coming up in a second, all right? We're talking tax planning and financial strategies today, right?
Yes.
Got it. See, my brain is working.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? I can't hear myself either. Oh, do you have your headphones on? Hey y'all, this is Balaji. This is Goddess Talk. How are y'all doing this retrograded Thursday? Let's talk about the retrograde first. Do you know what the retrograde is? Okay. So Mercury retrograde, anybody who really has, Google can quickly check what it is. But a lot of things happen, and emotions, tension. There's a lot of stuff going on that can just have a little, people snapping a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And basically your response to people is your lesson during this time. And let's just say I've been feeling the shadow side of it, because the retrograde actually doesn't start until February 17th. But there's always a shadow period prior and after. So it's just, you have to learn how to flow through it and not really want to kick somebody in the throat. It works sometimes, but sometimes you just really people just be trying you.
Yeah. And
I've been tried and tested a couple times. But how you doing today?
I'm good. And
hey, Miss Gale.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
So we got my accountant on here today. This is your second time up here.
Yes.
So I want to make sure I got you during tax season so we can have some of this conversation, because a lot of people are so hyped. Oh my God, taxes, taxes, taxes. And some of us are like, ugh, again.
Yeah.
So you can learn how to enjoy your tax season if you have the right people in your corner.
Exactly.
So I don't mind my tax season. I actually chill during tax season because I don't rush anything. I see Miss Gale. We'll probably see each other around March and get it done right before April, and that's it. So Miss Gale, what's the name of your company?
Tax planning and financial strategies.
And how long have you been a tax person? What's your title, official title?
Tax practitioner, registered agent, as well as financial strategist.
Ooh, okay. So yes, you are also in my corner when it comes to all my financial decisions. Sorry. I'm just starting my watch party. If you are on my Facebook, you can start your watch party too. So, how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing taxes since 1989.
Okay. So you got a wealth of experience. I just want to say that's about 32 years. I'm an 88 baby, so I feel some type of way just now, like, yeah, so the taxes have changed in 30-something years. I just want to say that much, right?
Yes, they have.
All right, so I've been seeing a lot of stuff. People try to give tips online, and, a lot of people want to give info sessions. They want to do conferences, do all these empowerment things, and they're trying to give tidbits and information, but sometimes a lot of them aren't qualified to do so.
Right.
This is just stuff that they've read or seen or heard, and me, I always kind of come back to you like, hey, Ms. Gale, can you do this? And you'd be like, yeah, but this is the parameters and this is how you have to go about it. So now it's tax season. What should a regular person be doing at this time?
So they should be gathering all of their documents.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I always say, because most people have a side hustle.
Side hustles, yes.
Yeah, they have a side hustle that they try to do under the table or just don't report it at all. And most of the time, they hurt themselves. And, most people don't understand that whatever you report on your taxes, that's what's going to be recorded for your Social Security later. Okay. And so if you ever become disabled or you retire, then all of the income that you earned never went into that factor of the 32 years. So the Social Security check ended up being a lot more than it could have been. Okay. If they had reported it.
And let's talk about Social Security, because basically it's a numerical number for you as an individual in this country.
Yes.
Correct? And so whatever you do is attached to your number.
Exactly.
And fraud happens when somebody could either use your stuff or you allow somebody to use your stuff, right? So let's talk about when people decide to claim kids, because That's always been an iffy problem for me, because some people sell their children's information to other people to claim. Let's talk about that. What's that about?
Okay.
Because that's just crazy as hell to me. I can't imagine.
Yep.
But
they're
happens.
trying to get that earned income credit. But the rule for that is the person that they are filing on their taxes have to be they have to be related in some type of way. They had to live with them throughout the year. They had to provide over half of their support, and they have to make sure that they do the relationship test. So without that relationship test, a lot of times, that's why right now people are not being paid out for their earned income credit, is because of all of the fraud. They have allowed somebody to claim their child, and then when they started work, now they want to claim their own child, and so now it's the race. Who gets there first and file the taxes? Now they go and do theirs, and theirs may reject out the system because someone already filed it. Now they got to fight with that person and try to get their money.
I remember you gave me a scenario, a story, like, and this is normal, that a parent might sell their child's social to someone else to file, but not tell the spouse that, hey, I gave up our kids' info to somebody else to file, and here y'all are now trying to do y'all taxes as a family, and y'all trying to claim all the kids, and one isn't going to be able to be claimed because they done gave the information out to somebody. How the hell does that happen?
Well, greed. That's the best way to say it, greed.
Because my thing is, what did the spouse expect to happen? The person's going to get that money, they were going to give you some, and then you were going to keep that away from your husband, wife? What would the reasoning be for that?
Because they used to believe that you can only claim 3 kids. So if they had more than 3, they thought that they couldn't claim the other children, so they would sell them off.
This is so sad. I'm so disgusted right now. Okay, so they sold the kid off. Well, technically your social security is a stock number, but, keep going.
Yep. And so then when they start working, or they had changes in their life, now they're able to claim their own kids. And sometimes they have to send it through mail. Now, just because somebody raced to file that child don't mean they're going to keep that money. Because if the person says, you know what, I want my money.
Yeah.
And they send it to Internal Revenue through the mail. Internal Revenue is going to give them their money, but then they're also going to send you a bill that you have to turn around and pay back.
Y'all just be careful out here and speak to a tax professional. So now, I was going through Instagram and just Facebook and stuff, and I've seen several people posting several different things. It's okay. And I just wanted to make sure that you, as a tax professional, could verify, confirm, or deny, or say, you know what, yes, but this is not really how it should be presented, right? So somebody who's pretty big on social media, this is a paid partnership with TurboTax, okay? Because now that means you're being sponsored by them to put out this information. So I won't say that I can't trust this information from you, but it's a paid sponsorship, so let's just go from there, okay? So, claiming your kids is not the only way to reduce your tax bill, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, there are multiple ways to do so.
Yes.
All right. This person started a business and wrote off over $2,400 in business expenses. She did so as a new entrepreneur. So, entrepreneurs, is it asset to be an entrepreneur?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So she mentioned that there are 5 deductions that made her business an asset and kept a couple extra dollars in her pocket. All right. So the U.S. tax code benefits business owners, that we've established. This is why some financial advisors recommend specific types of entrepreneurship, among other wealth building tools such as stocks, bonds, mutual funds, etc. And you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. And because these are major tax benefits. So talk about that. Stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. What are those? Give us layman terms what those are specifically.
Okay. So stocks that's when you buy into a company. And so it's technically you have some ownership in that company. So some companies, they are income earning. So you're earning income based on how the stock goes up. You lose income based on how the stock goes down. Then you have companies that provide dividends, like Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Coca-Cola, for instance, they've been paying dividends for over 100 years. So you know, when you're investing in companies like Coca-Cola, or you look at, those are income stream type investments. Okay. So it would be just like going out purchasing real estate, and each month you're getting a rent from a tenant. You're getting rent or something like that. And so with companies that provide dividends, they may pay a quarter, they may pay a month, so it tells you exactly how that company is going to pay out. Okay. And so with those dividends, you turn around and you reinvest them. So it's like when you're reinvesting your dividends, you're buying stock on sale. Okay. So it's just like going to the store and you're seeing something you want, now you're buying it. So you're receiving income based on that. Okay. So that income is taxed a totally different way than if you're a W-2 employee. Okay. And so, and then you also have real estate where you can buy. Some people say, well, I don't want to own real estate, but I want the benefit of real estate. Okay. So then they go into REIT, R-E-I-T. So they buy those. Those are companies like the federal government, for instance. The federal government don't own any land. Supposedly. They don't. So they rent out every facility. So some people invest in investments that rent to the federal government and they receive dividends. Okay. Okay. So that's stocks. What are bonds? Bonds are different securities. So what you're doing is, it's like helping lend money to companies. Okay. So you have government bonds, you have regular bonds, corporate bonds, and so depending on the interest rate determines whether you're earning money from the bond or not. Okay. So, and then mutual funds? Mutual funds is just a collection. It's a well diverse pool of money. Okay. So that mutual fund may be investing in the international market as well as housing, transportation, government agencies, and stuff like that. Okay. So when you're telling me that, because I go to you for all my little questions because my brain doesn't wrap around everything. It really doesn't. And you know what? It doesn't have to, because everybody feels like you have to know everything. You don't have to know anything. Right. You could always ask a professional. Okay, so I always choose to ask my professional. So now, let's say I really didn't want to be bothered with real estate because that sounds very complicated, right? The whole buying, you know, refurbishing or all flipping and all that. I don't have time for that, right? And I choose to go with just stocks. I can still make money off of that by talking about the dividends from like a Coca-Cola. Right. Okay. So a lot of people don't know that because everybody's trying to push everybody towards real estate, but there are other options to make income without having to get into the real estate market. Yeah. There's options to make money in stocks. Some people trade currency. Okay. Okay. So that's on the Forex. So, you know, when you look at the currency, there's almost $1 trillion transfer hands every single day. And so when people learn how to evaluate the currency, you know, even the dollar, it goes up and it goes down. Yeah. The same thing with other countries' money. It goes up, it goes down. So depending on how you buy it, when you buy it, and then you turn around and you sell it for the higher price. Okay. And you make money that way. All right. So now to go on to what this, we're taking our first break already. Dang, that was quick. All right, so this is Goddess Talk with Balaji, and we have my special guest, Miss Gale. If you want to call, 813-444-9588. We'll be right back. That was a quick break. Oh, we started late.
We started at 7:03.
Yeah, it so it was 3 minutes. Okay. I was like, hold on. I felt like I still had a couple minutes there. But, got it. All right, y'all. If y'all have any questions for the tax professional and financial specialist, please go ahead and drop it in. Let me double check. Yep. Who's this guy?
Don Darich. He's been around for a long, long time.
Is he paying dollars to Goddess Talk? Nope.
Don't
Okay.
you start with me. He's paying dollars for In Touch Radio.
Okay, but what slots does he pay for?
All you got to do is bring that slot in here and pay for that spot, and you're good. Don't you start with me.
I guess things started and I finished things, but all right, y'all.
I forgot
y'all got
here.
questions.
Oh my God!
Don't let it get.
Okay.
Y'all already know how I get. So, what is the best way to file for combined income? For example, a person that has 3 jobs and no dependents. So when we come back from the break, I'm gonna ask that question so other people can get that answer. Thanks, Sam. It's almost your birthday.
Huh?
It's almost her birthday.
Oh.
Oh, and by the way, Samantha, check your mail. Come on.
What is that?
This is Instagram.
Uh-huh.
So you want me to read the question before we get back on break?
What is the best way?
What is the best way to file for combined income? Right? That's a question.
Mm-hmm.
For example, a person that has 3 jobs and no dependents. Oh, we're back. Hey, y'all. Hey, this is Goddess Talk with Balaji, and I have Miss Gale Philson here from Tax Planning and Financial Strategies, right, Miss Gale?
Right.
How you doing today?
I'm good.
All right, so during the break, Sam asked a question. I'm going to read it out loud for everybody so that we can get the tax professional answer. All right, so I'm going to lift this up real quick. Y'all going to see my face for a second. What is the best way to file for combined income? That's a question. What is the best way to file for a combined income?
So you basically file it just like you in the combined income.
Mm-hmm.
Now he needs to tell me whether the combined income is all W-2 or 1099.
Okay. Well, I'm guessing these are all adults who are working W-2s. So she said, for example, this person has 3 jobs. Okay.
So if they're all W-2,
they Jamaican, they working a couple jobs, right? But no dependents. They are Jamaican, by the way. But yeah, but no dependents.
Okay. So they would fill it in just like they anything else. The 3 jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that they would look at in filing the 3 jobs is they should be keeping some type of log. So when they leaving from one job to the other. Now, their drive from home to the first job, there is no deduction for it. But from the first job to the second job, they could track that mileage. From the second job to the third job, they can track that mileage. And then from the third job to home, they can track that mileage. And so,
peep game, y'all, peep game.
So that they can, if they qualify, be able to take that deduction.
Okay, so but the whole combined, let's say it's a married couple and they're both W-2s. Talk about that because a lot of people still file as single, but they're married.
Okay.
Should they even be doing that?
Well, if they are married, there's only 2 ways that they can file.
Okay.
That is married filing jointly or married filing separate. The only time they can go over to the head of household, but this person said no dependents, so that's the only 2 choices. But if they had dependents, the only way you can file head of household is that you and your spouse did not live together, not one day in the last 6 months of the year.
So y'all could be going through a trial separation and then decide to file separately.
Right. They cannot be at the same household.
Okay.
Either.
Okay.
So,
or let's say, y'all both travel, right? So overseas somewhere doing something and you're here. So you could also go about doing it that way as well.
If they did not live together one day out of the last 6 months.
Out of the last 6 months.
Then they can file head of household.
Okay. Well, that was a great question. And, she's about to be a 30-year-old lady out here. So happy early birthday, Miss Samantha. All right, so that's the only question we got so far. If anybody else has any questions, you could definitely call us here at In Touch and Goddess Talk. This is 813-444-9588. And ask Miss Gale any question. So now back to the other thing that I was reading before. All right. So this person says that they could not afford an accountant. Accountants can be pricey. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. And for your services, is it an income-based situation? Is it per client? Is it corporation versus, you know, single person? Like, how does someone, not just you, go about creating their price list?
Well, they create their price list based on whatever. Some people charge whatever they think someone would pay. I charge based on the amount of work that I have to do.
Okay.
So if it's a person that have just a W-2, no children, my fee is very minimal for them. If it is someone that has kids and it requires a little, that return is normally about $135 to $165.
Okay.
And if it's a business, then that's totally different.
Yes, and I'm the business, so she got like 3 of my businesses that she handles all my stuff, and she's been doing it for a couple years, so I highly recommend her. Okay, so but this person said that she could not afford an accountant, so she chose to download TurboTax. Self-employed, which helps business owners find every deduction they deserve, right? So she said that they also file the correct forms for you and offer live support from real CPAs through TurboTax Self-Employed. Let's talk about that, because there's been commercials of TurboTax. We all see it.
Yes.
But then we've also seen the downside where people put all this stuff in, and it's a little meme that basically said the federal government came and said, bring your butt over here. You know you don't get none of those deductions. So let's talk about it. Would this be a reliable source to file your taxes?
I never used TurboTax, so I really can't say whether it is or not. Now, I have had clients that use TurboTax, and then they called me and said, can you come over and go over what on TurboTax. And so what I do is I basically prepare the taxes, and usually anytime I've done that, because I do a need analysis with that person, I usually get them about anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 or $3,000 more than they were getting with TurboTax.
Okay, so your advice would be to seek professional tax person versus just a system to do it. Because remember that commercial that they had back in the day when a person... How far back in the day are we talking?
Oh, you
now,
know what?
You know what I'm saying? Y'all, you done already said,
She ain't that old.
You ain't have to get on the mic. DJ CEO was not part of this conversation. All right? But you said you've been doing this since 89, right?
Okay.
And I was born in 88. So I'm like, dude, how far back are we talking with this commercial? So what's the commercial? Let me see if I can go back in my memory bank for this one.
I think it was TurboTax, actually, and somebody was being audited or whatever, and the commercial said, ask the box. Whenever they ran into an issue, they were like, okay.
Oh, okay, I've seen that. It was probably, but you know what? It probably wasn't a TurboTax. It was probably H&R Block.
No, it was H&R Block might have did the commercial.
Okay.
And then it was comparing it with TurboTax.
Okay, yeah. Ask the box.
Ask the box.
And the box didn't say nothing because for H&R Block, they're feeling like, hey, you have a professional in your face to do it. Right. So talk about that, because you did mention that when I did bring this up to you earlier that, hey, at the end of the day, TurboTax is a system. Right. They may have, it says in their advertising that they do have live CPAs to help support. But at the end of the day, your service, as well as other tax professionals, is you get that face-to-face. Right. You're going to ask some very inquisitive questions to get to the right answer so that we can get this deduction for you. Right. Or tell you no.
Because when you read what she said, is that basically she put everything in and she answered the questions. But what if they didn't ask questions?
Follow-up questions.
That she didn't know that she could claim. Because like so many people, one of the areas that most people lose an exemption on is, so a lot of younger people are taking care of their parents. And because they're taking care of their parents, they don't realize if the parent can't file a tax return, they could claim that parent on their taxes.
Ooh, Sam, go ahead and ask another question, because now when you do have a parent, what? Yeah, you just realize you have an look, he has a deduction. He got a deduction now. He's like, oh yeah, we do have one of those. Yeah, see? This is why I bring the right folk up here to have real conversations, because you never know. So how many years you been going to your tax professional? I got questions.
Well,
you might have to change it up now.
No, I just want to say that I used to be one of those go online and get the TurboTax and do all of that stuff. But ultimately, I found out that by going to a tax professional, I'm going to get more bang for my buck.
Exactly.
And so for the past probably 15 years now, I've been using a tax professional. So I don't recommend, unless you're just in a hurry, you would want to use one of those quick bam, thank you ma'am. But you get more bang for your buck when you first go to somebody that you can trust, establish a relationship with them, and then as the years progress, you'll see a benefit in working with a professional.
Because I can talk about my experience. You know, me and you just met off just me walking up here for some random reason. And when I had to get my taxes done, we spent, 2 or 3 days. And you had me bring all my documents, even if they were minute documents, but they helped with other things. Because I was like, I don't know, it's been like this long and I hadn't done this. And you like, just bring whatever you got. I'm getting my dad to scan stuff from Jersey for me. Like, it was a whole situation. So,
Balaji, I do have a question.
What's the question?
The question is, I've been taking care of my mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
She was with us in 19 and in 18 and parts of 17. She is from Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's filed any taxes.
So, and then that's the other, because you said she's been with us. Your mother and your mother-in-law do not have to live in your residence for you to claim them.
Oh.
It's children that have to live in your residence. Okay.
Everyone else, other than your parents. Your parents do not have to live with you in order for you to take that benefit. As long as you're helping them and you're providing half of their cost of living, you can deduct them on your taxes.
Really?
See?
Okay.
We
got another question. We got another question. Y'all about to be deducting like, All right. So is there a such thing as a partial dependent? Like the person only pays minor bills and you pay majority, so that makes them a partial dependent.
I'm trying to understand.
So let's say you are taking care of a parent, or a parent lives with you, right? And they only pay minor bills, such as maybe light, electric, but the rent and everything else you're paying fully, everything.
As long as you're providing over half of the support, you can claim them. So if they just paying a bill, and you're paying everything else, then you're providing more than half of their support. Okay. Now remember, your parents do not have to live with you.
No, So now though, is there something considered partial, or is it just dependent? Period.
It's dependent.
Okay, so there's no partiality in it. As long as you're providing half of that support, you are dependent.
Now, when it comes to kids, so say for instance, you have a child. And in the divorce decree, it says that the husband gets to claim the dependent on his taxes, but the child lives with you. So you would file the child as a head of household qualifier, but not a dependent. So if you're entitled to earned income credit, you'll still receive that earned income credit for the child, but the husband gets the child as the dependent.
I need that to come back again. Say that again.
Yeah, really. That's a lot.
That was see, this is why you got somebody who goes through the tax codes for you. But say that again. I need to get that. All right.
So say two people, they're divorced now, and in the divorce decree, it says that the husband has the right to claim the child as his dependent.
And this is something that people put in their divorce papers?
Yes.
Custody battles, basically. Okay.
Yes.
That the husband has the right to claim the child on the taxes.
Right.
Okay.
So, because the child lives with the mother, that makes her a head of household
for the
qualifier for that child. So when she filed her taxes, she would list the child, but the child will only be used as a head of household qualifier. So if she was entitled to any earned income credit or anything like that, she'll still be able to get it.
Credit as a head of household.
Right.
Okay.
But she would not be able to get the dependent status.
Okay.
And he would receive that.
Okay. And so people do have that discussion. Is like, okay, let me claim the kids, but they live with you, but, you know, I may be paying bills there, you know, something like that. Well, y'all figure that out. That's a whole divorcee separated parent situation. All right, we're about to take our next break. If you got questions, 813-444-9588, or just drop it in the comments. This is God Us Talk. We'll be right back.
I think somebody put a question.
Yeah, she did. This is the one I just read to you about the partial dependent. I gave you her information for taxes.
Okay.
Saying she gonna get back to you. But yeah, she does file for out of state taxes, right? Mm-hmm. Anybody? She's handled my Jersey stuff. She got a couple people from up there now. She got a couple people from all over the country. Yeah.
New York,
so,
Georgia.
Okay, so that's the thing now, because, well, I got to make sure I remember to ask this question.
So what about my, what about the income that my mother-in-law earns?
Okay. So
she got a retirement check coming in. What about that?
So what you have to do is look and see, would she be required to pay taxes?
Okay.
File taxes. If she's not required to file taxes, then that's when you look at claiming her. But if she's required to file taxes, then you look at who is going to benefit.
Why wouldn't you be required to file?
Not necessarily.
Maybe in Jersey, I don't know, because I feel like all our clients
Social
have to
Security
do it.
is federal.
True.
So how that works is basically all the income that comes into the house. So if a person is receiving a pension, okay, so say their pension was about $11,000, and then they get Social Security and maybe it's $15,000. So how you decide whether or not she's going to be required to file taxes? The Social Security only becomes taxable when a single person earns over $25,000 in combined income.
Wow.
Then that becomes.
Hey y'all, we are back on God Is Talk. If you have any questions, make sure you're dropping it in the comment section on my IG, Afroganics LLC, or if you're watching my watch party on my personal page, or the live I'm doing on God Is Talk. I cover it everywhere. So drop the questions there, and I will make sure Ms. Gale answers them. All right. So the question that was asked was, do you file for out-of-state taxes? So yeah, she does have clients throughout the country, and she currently has clients in Cali, Jersey, Florida, Georgia, literally everywhere. So Maryland, the DMV. So if you need it, if you need her contact information, let me know. I'm always making referrals. All right, so somebody has a question. My first question: she started selling products as a little at a time last year. So are you saying that I should still file that income even without an EIN?
Yes. Okay,
yes.
So how that will work is you would basically file a Schedule C. So the Schedule C is self-employment.
Okay.
And you want to go ahead and get your EIN number for your own protection. So what happens is any income you earn, you're supposed to file it on your taxes.
Any additional income, especially.
Any income.
Anything.
Yeah.
So Cash App. Y'all getting Cash Apps? For them food trays. Baby.
So, for self-employment, if you earn over $400, you are required to file a tax return. Even if it was just $401 that you earned for the whole year, you're still required to file a tax return.
Or less.
400. Well, actually, less than 400.
Okay.
If it's 400 or more, you're required to file. So $399 on down, you're not required to file.
Okay. But 401.
400.
400. Okay, you're supposed to be putting it on.
Schedule C.
So that's the question she had.
And not necessarily will you be required to pay taxes on the money. You're just required to file the money.
They be all up in our business, y'all. I'm just saying.
You have to pay a penalty. What you have to remember, there's always loopholes in everything. So one of the things is if you receive a shut-off notice from TICO, your water, or anything like that, or you became homeless at any time, 1 month, whatever, and that means that you don't have any property in your name. Not that you're going couch
surfing.
If the property does not belong to you, then that you can consider yourself homeless, because really you are. And if you had any of those things happen, you're exempt from the taxes. you're exempt from that penalty.
Okay. All right. Second question from Natural Fam 1204. Her second question: her mother passed away unexpectedly last year and worked up until her passing. Does she need to file her income? She was also receiving pension from my father, who passed away a year before her.
Yes.
Oh, my heart is for you, man. My heart breaks for you. So she can file taxes for her mother.
She has to file taxes.
She has to. Okay. What about her father? That's already taken care of by mom prior to her passing?
Father passed away.
The year before mom.
Yeah. So a last tax return should have been filed for the both of them. So
to say that they have passed.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a final tax return.
Okay.
So one thing that, like they said, one thing you can never get rid of, and that's taxes. So even when you die, you still have to file that tax return. Well, somebody has
to file for it. Okay, so now, because certain things that I've heard about people try to correct people's credit, scores and credit repair and everything, and then they're basically filing for new tax ID numbers, but it's probably somebody who passed is illegal. So can you talk about that? Because that is something that a lot of people have been getting caught doing, but what they're doing is the people who are seeking help, those who need their their credit fixed and everything, they're doing it, right? And they're putting the responsibility on the person who's ignorant to what's going on. So let's talk about that. What's that whole situation about?
Well, people get it because they think they are
starting fresh somehow, some way.
Yeah, but they're starting fresh, not legal. So remember, anything you're working, that Social Security number is your Social Security number. So your Social Security is being paid under that Social Security number. So if you start getting your earnings paid under a different Social Security number, and it's time for you to retire, guess what? You have to provide 35 years of income. So if you only have 10 years of income under that other Social Security number, you're gonna be owing for some credits. You may not be able to get that retirement check because that other income is not going to be counted. And so, there's a right way to go about fixing your credit. So if there are companies out there that bought your debt, that's not necessarily your debt. There are ways to get rid of that, and you don't have to do the other stuff.
Miss Gale does do credit repair as well, so she's right there. She helped me too when it was time to buy the house. I had you helping me with that. I had Miss Rachel Spate. She's Rachel the credit lady as well. So I had a whole team. Let's just say that much. And I've been living in my beautiful house for the past 8 months, and it's just a glorious experience. All right. So the next thing, Natural Fam said that thank you. She made about $2K from that side hustle. So yeah, since you made 400 plus, you want to go ahead and put that on your taxes, correct?
Right.
All right.
She want to put that on her taxes, but she will also want to track her expenses so she can write it off.
Okay, so
that once it gets under the $400, she will not have to pay self-employment tax.
Okay. All right. So she chose this person. Back to what I was reading before. This person chose the standard deduction, which is $12,200. You can choose that as a standard deduction.
It's not that you choose it. It's either going to be if you're single, $12,200, or it's going to be your itemizing.
Okay.
So if you don't have enough if you don't have anything above $12,200, then the default is $12,000.
Okay. Or itemize your deductions, list expenses. So entrepreneurs should itemize deductions versus choose the standard deduction, especially if you've documented ordinary, necessary business expenses with receipts.
That is correct.
That is correct. Okay. So this person said that she used her home office as a deduction. So this was something that you were like, hold up. All right. She turned her living room into her home office. She planned trainings, mailed t-shirts, recorded her videos. She said, do not use your office for anything else to qualify for deductions. If you cook or sleep in your office, your kitchen or bedroom, that does not count. But you said there was an issue with the living room. Why is there an issue with the living room specifically?
Okay, unless there is another door that everyone opens But if the home office cannot be used for anything other than business. So if it's a pass through, then it's being used for something other than business. So therefore, that deduction would not hold up if she went through an audit.
If you went through an audit. And so double check, so she said that, you can deduct $5 per square foot for up to 300 square feet.
That is accurate.
Totaling up to $1,500. So she said her home office that she was using as her living room is 200 square feet. So 5 times 200 is $1,000 deduction. Or calculate deductions based on the percentage of your home used for the business.
So I would suggest if a person is going to use to make a home office, it needs to be a room that there is a door. Okay? Because if you're ever audited and you go to Internal Revenue, that's one of the top fields for auditing is home office. So they will send someone home with you.
Dang.
To make sure it is a home office.
Okay.
So when they walk in, there's not a door, it's going to be disallowed.
Okay, so you got to calculate your deductions based on the percentage of your home and use for the biz, and deduct a percentage of your home expenses, your rent, property taxes, utility bills. That all gets included as well.
Right.
All right. Vehicle. You can use your vehicle as a deduction.
You can, as long as it's being used for business.
Okay.
Now, you do have to track
The
what
mileage.
is personal
Yes.
and what is business.
Okay, so
And-
you can track your mileage.
Yes, and it needs to be a good log. So that log needs to state where you're going, the purpose of your trip, who you're meeting with, your beginning mileage, your ending mileage. You need a detailed log.
And this is
If it's vague, it's going to be disallowed.
And this is what I had to do for my Jersey business because we do travel. So I told all my staff, you better do your mileage, because at the end of the day, if I'm reimbursing, I need all that documentation. Right. But then also, if I'm not reimbursing, you need that so you can deduct it on your taxes.
Exactly.
Okay. So I learned some things out here, y'all. All right. Third is tech. She's like, she uses these sites for her business. So she uses Shopify, Wix, her attorney. If you can afford an attorney, I think you can afford an accountant, can't you? Okay, but I'm just thinking, because attorneys are more expensive. I can tell you that. Insurance, DocuSign, Dropbox, GoDaddy, G Suite. She had a deduction for technology, which is usual. All right. Cell phone, internet. She's like, you could use both to make calls and contact clients. So her bill for that.
On the cell phone. Because a lot of people have switched to just a cell phone. They don't have a landline.
Yes.
So you have to have multiple phones.
I do.
You cannot have one phone and then you can deduct it.
Let me tell y'all something. I got 3 phones, and people be looking at me crazy. But it's like, because of how many businesses I have to have a dedicated phone for each business so that I can make those deductions. So that bill for that phone is just that bill for that phone.
But okay, so let's take that scenario.
Okay.
Where you have 3 phones. Do you have a landline?
I do not.
Okay. So that means that only 2 of your phones are deductible.
Yeah, my personal phone is my personal phone.
Okay.
But my other business phones are my business phones.
So you'll be able to claim those too.
Yes.
But say for instance, if all of the phones were used for business, though, even though you have 3 phones that are being used for business, you can only deduct 2.
Oh, well, yeah, you know what? The third phone, people actually do sometimes contact me on there too. All right, so traveling is also another thing to deduct, right? Travel expenses. This included hotel, transportation, and flights. Up to $10,000 is what she got deductions for. I remember you had a business meeting, right? And we happened to go to lunch. And you said in order for us to be able to do that, we had to write on there who we met with, what purpose, and everything. All right, so this is Goddess Talk. We're about to take our last break. We'll be right back. 813-444-9588 if you have any questions. Thank you. She said thank you so much. She wasn't really sure about filing for her mom's because it was her income, not mine. Well, not hers. That's totally understood, right? Because you think like, okay, well, that's her income, not mine. She's not here. I shouldn't be filing. But you're saying
no. She doesn't file it on her tax return. She has to file a tax return in her mom's name.
Okay. I hope you're still on there. Natural Fam 1204. If you're still on here, just give me a wave or something. But Ms. Gale just said that you're not filing your mom on your tax returns. You're filing your mom's final taxes as her tax return.
And
so,
she would be the beneficiary.
And she would be, okay, and you'll be the beneficiary of that. If you're not here, I will just send you a message or DM. But if you're here and you heard this information, please make sure you just give us a wave so I know that you got it, okay? I don't want you doing nothing wrong because, you know. There she is. Okay, so she got the... I was like, hold up. I done gave the woman the wrong answer. All right, cool. So if you got that or you need her to repeat it, please let us know. We are here, okay? That's what's up. All right. And I think she has one more deduction. She said she had... Yo, taxes are a headache. Numbers are a headache. I know some people really love crunching it. I can't be bothered. That's why I have the professionals. But, you know, there are some people who said that, you know, you shouldn't have all your money in one bucket. You should always have multiple people looking and checking your stuff. Because, you know, that's how a lot of us black folk got these...
well, when you're looking at someone you can't trust.
Yeah. Hey, y'all. This is Balaji, Goddess Talk. We are back. I got Miss Gale Philson here from Tax Planning and Financial Strategies. Miss Gale wears a lot of different hats. She can help you with mortgages, right?
Yes.
Help you get you a house. She can help you with credit repair, your taxes, your financial advising. She does that. She's advised me on a lot of different things that I've done behind the scenes, money moves. I won't say I'm where I would like to be yet, but I'm definitely on the way there, thanks to Ms. Gale. So if y'all need her information, drop it. I'm always posting her stuff on my Facebook, and of course I'm always dropping her name to different people. So the last thing that this person said is that she had a total deduction of $24,200 from just the different varying things that she did. So TurboTax Self-Employed helped her find all these and at least 10 more deductions that she qualified for. Now she says she only earned $60K and had the $24,000 and some change deductions. Does that sound right?
Was she single or married?
It sounds like she's single.
Okay.
This is her business now, not her personal. She might still be working a regular 9 to 5 for all I know.
Okay, but here's the thing. With looking now, I couldn't remember if she was married or not.
She never mentioned it.
So if she was married, your standard deduction is $24,000 anyway.
Okay.
So.
Okay, so now I can infer, because nobody's coming at this person. I'm just saying, like, sometimes people post stuff and we don't know. So we're like, man, she deducted all that. So we jump on it and jump on this, you know, software and we're doing this. But at the end of the day, you were going to get that anyway.
Right.
Without using that software, going through a tax professional. But now you might.
Your room is not set up right. I would never tell you to make your living room an office.
Okay.
Because that would be one that would definitely be frowned upon.
Okay.
With Internal Revenue.
Okay, so I found another thing that somebody posted online. Because again, people post a lot of stuff online. And my thing is I always like to verify stuff before I share for the most part. And then, of course, seek counsel and a professional so that I can make sure I make the right decisions and go about it so I don't lose money. Because nobody want to lose money. I like to make money and I like to spend money. Okay, yeah. I can't seem to find this other thing. But it was basically a tax write-off cheat sheet, right? So for most people who have businesses, you know that for advertising and promotions, you can write that off.
Yes.
Auto expenses and mileage. Bank fees.
Yes.
Okay. Licenses and permits.
Yes.
Consultation.
Yes.
Costs of goods sold, materials or labor.
Yes.
Okay. Card processing fees.
Yes.
Okay. Dues and subscriptions. If you have subscriptions to a professional organization, that might be a deduction.
With the new law, depending on what type of dues and subscription.
Okay. Education, books, reference, materials, professional development, and workshops and trainings.
Yes.
Oh, sure. I'll be missing some of this stuff then. Equipment rental.
Yes.
Gifts given, professional, $25 per year per person. So like me, if I, you know, each year I would give my staff a gift card for, you know, business and everything. So $25 per year per person.
Right.
That's standard. Okay, that's up to the max, correct?
Yes, that is
Okay,
the max.
that is the max per person. All right, home office, your rent, mortgage, renter, or homeowner's insurance, utilities, and repairs. Could also be a deduction. Insurance, we kind of figured that out. Interest expense, finance charges, and loan interest. That sounds right?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Now, the card needs to be strictly used for the business.
Okay.
It cannot be used for personal, and then you turn around and say, okay, I'm going to claim these.
And you were definitely on my neck about that one. And it was just like, sometimes I would just buy stuff. You know, I didn't have my other card with me, and it's like, okay, I'm just buying stuff for the business. And it's like, you can't use that. You have to either transfer the money to the card or something. You have to do something so that it can be registered as a business expense. So it's annoying for sure, but I haven't been 100% great with it, but I've been getting better. Okay. So, but there are a lot of different tax deductions that you can have. Mm-hmm.
Some of the ones she did not have on there in the advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is more of a social media world. So I didn't see any websites.
No, they had it there. I just didn't mention all that stuff. But there's websites, there's social media, like now all those things. Yeah. I definitely say that I haven't really used it. People probably could write off for using me, probably because they have paid me for promo. So that could be used.
Yes. Okay,
that's cool. All right, so Ms. Gale, tax planning and financial strategies. Give them your information if they want to call you right now to get going, because this is tax season and I'm sure you're getting a lot of calls. I had to beg her to come here, by the way. She had clients. She's like, Ms. Gale, you gonna be free this weekend? All right, come through. So what is your number?
My office number is 813-252-6051. My cell is 813-495-4997.
And email? She can't remember. But talk to the strategist on Facebook, okay? Talk the number 2, the strategist on Facebook. You can find her on there for all your information.
I have so many
she has emails like it's nobody's business because she has, you said 6 minutes? Oh, we're going to go over? Oh, we still got 6 minutes. I thought I had 1 minute left. Okay, cool. So what information would you like to give people in general about taxes, planning, financial planning, or, you know, even buying a house, because that's another specialty that you have as well?
Okay. So the one thing I will say is that whoever you get to file your taxes, make sure they sign the bottom of your tax return. Because so many people, they just go to people because they see these signs out there saying that they're going to get this amount per child. It doesn't work like that. It is earned income. If you didn't earn the income to get the max child tax credit for your child, you're not gonna get it. So I have so many people come in and say, well, I seen that sign out there saying I can get $6,000 per child. No, you don't.
So isn't that false advertising then?
It is.
And it's allowed?
Well, no, because people walk in and pick up those signs. The city come pick up those signs. But, you know, people be so greedy or wanting to receive stuff that they don't even care if it's accurate or not, that they fall.
Wow.
And then what happens,
it's a trap, y'all. It's a trap.
The people that put this stuff on your tax return won't even sign the bottom of your tax return. So when you have a problem with Internal Revenue and you try to turn them in, Internal Revenue have that you filed your own tax return
because
and
the person never signed it,
because they never signed it. So it's hard to win that battle.
Do your due diligence. Of course, again, knowledge is power, but a lot of us are ignorant to this information because we do seek professionals because they tell you, I do taxes and I've done everybody's taxes, right? But they could definitely lead you astray.
Now, Internal Revenue has a list. You can go and you can verify if a person has a PTIN. If they have a PTIN and they're not signing your tax return, that means they're putting some stuff on there that they know is illegal. They done told you they're going to get you this amount of money in refund. Then you turn around and you pay them outrageous prices to do that tax return, and then when you get that white envelope in the mail, you're the one you're stuck with the payment at 9% interest per day. back.
Yo, they don't play. They just don't play. And I can tell you that they don't play because they ain't play with me, okay? And that's the thing. A lot of business people be scared to tell you that, you know, the IRS came for they, you know, butts. And, you know, that's why I had to make sure I switched from who I used to have doing my stuff, and I had to get with Miss Gale. And there were deductions that I should have had for a couple years that I never got. And I was owing, like, $50K, y'all. I could tell y'all because I ain't got no shame in my game. And Miss Gale was like, all right, we got to get you on a payment plan. We got to do this. We got to do that. And, yeah, I'm still paying on it. But you know what? I got peace of mind because I got Miss Gale on my back. All right. So what else would you like us to know?
And whatever you do with the new tax laws are designed for businesses. They are not designed for individuals. If you're a W-2, you need a side hustle. You need that side business. And you want to register that business the proper way so that when you file these deductions, they will stick.
They will stick. Okay. I'm trying to find the flyer that I sent, that I sent for you that one time. It has your email on that. I'm almost certain about it. All right. So financial strategies include estate planning, retirement taxes, exit planning, cost-effective health insurance. I remember you were talking about that. So in order to get with Miss Gale, it's 813-238-4083. And her email is talktothestrategist@gmail.com. So it's talk, the number 2, thestrategist@gmail.com. Now for tax planning, you get all your tax deductions that you're entitled to. Different retirement accounts are tax friendly as well. Cost effective, again, health insurance planning, exit plan, which is retirement and legacy, and you can contact her for that as well. And there's Medicare registration that you have been offering as well for people who are ages 65 and older. People turning 65 also, or people with disabilities. Right. No cost or obligation to sign up. Miss Gale got a lot of stuff. What else you got going on? Man, she does mortgages, like got me pretty great interest rate on my stuff, and when it's time to refinance, she was like, yeah, you might want to refinance right now. I was like, Dad, you quicker than I even thought about being quick about it. So it's great to have somebody who, number one, studies this, and anytime the market shifts or any new rules or regulations come, she's on top of it. She'll call you and say, hey, did you file this yet? Because what is it? I guess in Florida specifically, you have to do something every year with your business.
May 1st.
See, I don't know. Yeah. I don't care. But
you miss. It doesn't matter if it's May 1st is on a weekend.
Yeah.
If you don't file your state annual report by May 1st, it is a $400 fine.
Yeah.
On May 2nd.
See? So I've got caught with that a couple times with Florida. All right, and I just started a whole different business thing because I couldn't be bothered except for that $400 fee. All right, y'all. This is Goddess Talk. We have Miss Gale on here. If you have any other questions, you can still email it or send it to me. But I'll see y'all next week, Thursday. I have a great guest coming, another financial advisor, a younger one, But you know what? I ain't gonna let y'all come at us like that. All right. So y'all have a wonderful day, night, and weekend. We'll see y'all next week.